Hi, welcome to Making a Better Me Day 69 update. Um, Today was Saturday. I'm a little confused with the days because it's my third day in a row off. Tomorrow's my fourth. We had a storm day on Thursday and I took a vacation day on Friday. And today is Saturday and tomorrow's Sunday. So a little confused. I had to think for a second. Excuse me. So today was another day at the Atlantic Outdoor Sports and RV Show, and we had a fun day. Did lots of things. I'll touch on a couple of things before I really get into the video. Being busy and out of the house most of the day today, didn't really get any housework in, and didn't really, well, that being said, I did snow blow a little bit this morning when the plow went by. I don't know if that counts for much, but we'll say it counts for something. After that, we headed to the Sports and RV Show, and we got home a little bit later. Didn't go to the gym, although I was busy and active most of the day, so maybe that counts for something. So a couple little things about today. One thing that started my day off and kind of bothered me a little bit, I guess, would be this morning on our way to the show, we stopped at Tim Hortons, which we quite often do, grab a bagel or a bite of something to eat or something to drink or something. And this is something that bothers me, and it really bothered me today. Typically when I'm at the front of the line, I don't approach the counter until I'm invited by the person behind the counter, because they quite often have things that they have to do behind the counter and not just directly serve the next customer. So I always wait until I'm invited to the counter. So if you're not doing that, for one thing, you probably should. It's just respectful and common courtesy, really, because they may not be ready for you if you just walk up. The other thing that happened is I had a gentleman, basically while I was ordering, he was standing right behind me yelling to his friend across the restaurant. I could barely hear the person waiting on me, and he wasn't really in the line. He was just wandering around in front of the counter waiting to go, just being impatient and rude, and I really didn't think much of that. So, you know, if you're next, hey, you might be busy, you might be in a hurry. We all are. It's, you know what, we all are. So just take your time, be patient, and wait your turn. You don't have to be up rushing the counter. You don't have to be up rushing the person in front of you or anything like that. If you think the person in front of you should be going, that's not your problem. Don't be tapping them or pushing them or telling them unless they've fallen asleep in line. You really don't need to do that. So just a little pet peeve of mine. That being said, also make sure you respect that somebody might be there before you, and don't just jump ahead of them because you feel entitled or that you're in a rush. I've had that happen before as well. So somebody just sort of rushed in and assumed I wasn't in line, didn't see me. I don't know how I'd become invisible or something. I'm usually not the type to just stand back and let that happen, so I've spoken up about that more than once. Anyway, so keep those things in mind. Anyway, so on with my update. So we headed to the outdoor show. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat and it just does not seem to want to go away. So we headed to the outdoor show, and we got there this morning, and we went and checked out one of the other rooms that we didn't get a chance to check out yesterday, where they had a few other vendors. We saw some of our friends at the Women That Hunt booth, and they had a demonstration set up where you could shoot an air pellet gun. So we did that, and I was pretty pleased. It was fairly successful, and Tamara did fairly well also. And we may try that again. And then we went next door. There was an archery booth, where you could actually shoot an arrow or shoot 5 arrows. So we also did that, which I also again thought was very fun. Um, then we got ready and got in for our show and had lots of fun. Score as usual. He did his thing. He loves dock diving. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever. I feel bad for people who try to, they want to stop and pat him on the way when he's on his way into the ring. He has no interest. He's just trying to get around them so he can get to the pool. And I'm sorry to anybody that he may have offended, but he is one track mind. When he knows the pool's in the building, he knows he wants to get to that pool, and it doesn't matter what gets in his way. That's his focus. So don't let your feelings get hurt or anything like that. Score loves people. He really does, but the pool is better to him than the people are. So anyways, he had a lot of fun today. Did 2 shows and lots of dock diving, and had a great time. So in between shows, we were trying to decide what we wanted to do, and there was a couple of concerns we had. I was thinking we would leave the show and go for lunch. Now, it was packed today. There were a lot of people there, and so I thought, gee, if I leave, I'm liable to lose my parking spot. And I had a really nice parking spot, especially where we worked with Score from the vehicle. Getting him in and out of the building from the vehicle, the further we're parked away, the more hassle it is. So I really didn't want to take a chance of losing that spot. So we decided, you know what, let's just make the best of it, and we'll hang out here. So we did that. And when I was wandering around just looking for things to do, I saw one of the fellows from the axe throwing competition, one of the organizers, and spoke with him for a minute. And I said, I really, kicking myself, I said, I really wish I had entered the open division, which was happening today. And he said, he said, we've got an odd number and we're looking for someone else. I said, well, I would be thrilled to do that. I would love to join in. Is that possible? I asked yesterday, and they said that, no, it wouldn't be possible. And he said, well, he said a bunch of people didn't turn out, so let me check. So we went and asked, and he said, you know what, you're in. So I get to join in the group of, for the most part, professional axe throwers. There was maybe 1 or 2 other guys that were sort of amateurs like myself. The rest of them were, timber lounge coaches, professional axe throwers. One guy said, one guy was ranked 32nd in the world. There was one guy that had been to world championships in Germany for axe throwing, things like that. Some of these people were taking it pretty seriously. I think all of them, except for maybe 2 of us, had their own axes. So it was just like, okay, I'm overwhelmed and I'm in way over my head. But you know what? I said, well, that doesn't matter. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to throw some axes. So, and so there were 12 of us, and what they were doing is taking the top 8 from 1 round, and from 2 rounds. Sorry, from 2 rounds combined total. The top 8 we're going to move on to the finals, which will be tomorrow. And I thought, well, I'm not getting through this. I mean, there were some really amazing throwers there, and I just thought, well, it doesn't matter. It's fun. I'm going to get to throw 10 axes. I'm going to have a good time. So I just went out and I did my throws, and I did okay. Nothing spectacular, but nothing horrible either. I think I missed 1 axe in each round, but I had good solid throws. No bullseyes, but 3s and 4s mostly, I think. And I felt pretty good about that. So I thought, well, yeah, whatever. That was great. That was fun. Never expecting really to move into the final. But when it came down to it, and the scores came out, I actually had finished in 6th out of a field of 12. Pretty impressive throwers. So I thought, wow, holy God, couldn't believe it. So I'm a little shocked. So, and I'm a little goofy about it, a little giddy about it. Pretty excited, but whatever happens tomorrow happens, and it really doesn't matter. So tomorrow I'm in the Open Division Axe Throwing Championship Finals. Every placement up to 8th, which is all of us, receives some sort of a cash prize ranging from, I think, $150 down to $10. So even if I choke completely, I get $10. So I can't complain in the least. Pretty excited to get to do it again and just have a great time, and whatever happens. But it was a lot of fun being involved with that. in addition to the dock diving. It just made the days a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting. I got to see my good friend Ian Stewart show, or some of it again today, and very entertaining, amazing the things that he can do. Very skilled performer, and I recommend checking him out if you get the chance. And of course, can't say enough about my friend Andy from Aquaterra Kennels, who was invited us to partake in his demo, and without him, we certainly wouldn't be dock diving. So, really glad to be involved with that. Also, our friend Amanda from Maple Leafs Flyball Club invited us to be there this weekend, and sort of representing her club as well as representing Andy. And so, good thanks to her and everything else. So yeah, we had a really good day today. After we finished the second show, we got ready and headed home. Stopped for some food and some gas and a little bit of dessert, some ice cream at Marble Slab. Big fan of Marble Slab, and so is Tamara. So we did that, and we came home, and I think we were both pretty tired when we get home, and I think we just kind of crashed, and it's actually quite a bit later now than since we get home, and I need to get to sleep, and because I've got to get up early for tomorrow, and I want to be well rested for throwing axes and dock diving and driving and all those things. We will be done earlier tomorrow, certainly, probably by about 2:30 or 3 o'clock at the latest, and we'll probably be on the road shortly after that. So that'll be a little bit of a reprieve from the last 2 days. The other thing that happens tonight, actually probably any minute now, is the time jumps ahead by an hour. We move into daylight savings time, so we get an extra hour of light during the day. In the evening, which is one of my favorite things this time of year. I love to see that, although I hate losing the hour of sleep. I am a huge fan of having some light in the evening, and really pleased about that. So yeah, that'll be cool. So yeah, that's sort of what today composed of, or comprised of, or I'm not sure what the right word is. The other thing that I wanted to say is we had much bigger crowds for our shows today, and for the most part they were still basically silent. Now, I don't know if anybody out there that I'm speaking to has ever performed in front of a crowd of people, but usually when you're performing in front of a crowd of people, you want feedback from those people in terms of applause, clapping, some kind of noise, boos, whatever, something to let us know, hey, how we're doing up there. Everybody's just sitting there silently looking at you and not really saying, hey, anything, hey, good job, or crappy, or you suck, or clapping their hands, or stomping their feet, or throwing stuff at you, whatever. That feedback, it's hard to get excited, and it's hard to put on a good show. So if you do go see and watch something, give them some energy. I've been involved in a few shows in front of crowds like this with different dog things. We were involved with a fun agility group for many years, and it's important to have that kind of feedback and energy from the crowd. I can just imagine what it's like when you're a rock star performing in front of 50,000, 100,000 people. It must be incredible, because having good feedback from a crowd is just a very rewarding thing. Not having any feedback from a crowd makes it hard to give them a good show. So if you're ever at an event and you're watching something, give them some energy. Let them know that they're doing a good job if you're liking it, and give them your energy, and give them the support. They're out there working hard and putting themselves on the line to entertain you, usually for the most part, and show them some respect by giving some feedback. So yeah, that's about it. So tomorrow we lose an hour of sleep, and we head back to the outdoor show for the last day. I was hoping to get some videos done while I was down there, just some preview videos, and I didn't really get much chance. I'm hoping possibly I'll have a little bit of time between our dock diving show and the Axe Throwing finals to maybe put together a little bit more. But we'll see what happens. I did see some really cool things there, and yeah, so I'd love to show you some of it. Other things that I want to say tonight is this week coming up is Nova Scotia March break, so I don't have kids in the schools I'm working in, which will be kind of nice. Be able to get a lot done. The students and teachers will be out, so I should be able to get lots of things done in my schools. Really hoping to be able to make a positive impact on my workloads and what needs to be done in my buildings. Other than that, not sure what else is going on this week. I haven't really looked ahead in my calendar. Just been, like I say, a little bit of a crazy weekend, so we'll see what happens with that. As far as I know, I don't really have much for appointments. Maybe a couple of appointments at Lake Health Clinic, and of course we teach and train on Monday and Wednesday. Don't think I have any bed appointments, or my dogs have any bed appointments. I typically don't have the appointments, it's usually the dogs. And yeah, from there we'll see what happens. So that being said, if you're watching my video and you're enjoying it, please hit the like button or the thumbs up button. Appreciate it at all times. If you have any comments you'd like to leave, I'd love to hear them. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, would appreciate a subscription. I always like to hear, see people subscribing. I know some people are watching my videos and being involved. I hope I'm being somewhat entertaining to some of you, and giving you some good information and some good feedback, maybe something to think about, or who knows what else. Hoping to expand and do a few more things. I've been trying to, pick a topic each day of something that happened that affected me and that I have a feeling about, and speak about that each day. And who knows, maybe I'll review some products, or go, when I'm traveling or something, we can talk about different things. But yeah, so far so good. Pretty happy with the way my videos are going, and the way things are going in general. So that's about all for tonight. So have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.